going to make my day today. You know that?
Just go over there and
Make my
sit down and
day.
leave me alone, please.
Oh, why? I know you
Because-
love me.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
You're horrible.
You've loved me every day of my life.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I divorced
Since we
you.
were in grade school.
Yeah, you're great.
I
Mm-hmm.
know it, man. So, I'm, tell you what I want. I want a reduction in my child support, Vicki, because I'm just paying you way too much money.
You don't
Hello,
pay nearly enough.
how is everyone doing today?
I'm doing
Hello.
awesome.
Good,
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
So I'm going to start with Joshua. Looks like you brought this.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is it that you're seeking? I heard you saying something when I was walking in.
Yeah, I want a reduction in my child support. I'm paying you way too much money. And I also want all that back pay money that I owe you. It's about 30 grand. I want that to go away. That's what I want you to do for me today. And I know you can do that because you're such a nice person.
Okay, you said you are paying way too. How old is the child?
Oh, he is 16.
16? Okay. All right, 16
My
years
son
old.
is 16. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, he's 16. You say you owe about 30,000 in arrears?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so you're seeking a reduction. What is the basis of you wanting a reduction?
I'm just paying too much. I mean, he's older now. He can get a job and go work somewhere.
Well, like I said, he is very inadequate as a father. Of course, he wasn't a good husband either, but we're not here for that. But he spends very little time with our son. And when he does, you know, they just basically just sit around his apartment and just watch TV. They don't really do anything, quality-wise. He doesn't take him outdoors. He doesn't really have those man-to-man talks with him like fathers are supposed to. He doesn't really take him anywhere. He's not really a potential part of our son's life. Our son is just not growing mentally with his father, and something has to be done about that. You could get a job too.
I have a job.
Okay. Okay, so you do know that 16 years old is still a child. And unless you can show some sort of documentation to the judge as to a difference in your income, they're not going to necessarily reduce it unless it's changed and gone down drastically.
Yeah, well, I'm on unemployment now. I really got fired from my job.
Okay, so now you're on unemployment. How much do you get in unemployment?
I get about $300 a week.
Okay. So it's about $1,200 a month.
Can you make him prove that? This is the first I've heard about him getting fired from his job.
Well, for me, my job, I don't represent either one of you. And this is not a courtroom, so neither one of you really have to put on any proof per se. That is for the court to determine that. Hopefully, you're being honest about your earnings. Because, I mean, if even though a mediated settlement agreement is irrevocable, there are very few instances where a court can, undo a mediated settlement agreement, and fraud being one of them.
Okay.
So if, you're not being truthful about your earnings and we agreed to something here today based on that, that could be an issue later.
Okay. I'm willing to do that.
I'm going to make you prove that.
You are? Okay.
All right, I'm going to make you prove you're unemployed because I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Just check the records at the unemployment place.
My lawyer will.
Okay. That works for me.
Okay. So, and you're obviously not in agreement to this reduction.
Absolutely not, no. He rarely does anything for our son, and now he wants to do even less. That's ridiculous.
Well,
That just won't happen.
Do you spend any time with your son?
a little bit.
What's a little bit?
Oh, I saw him at least once a month,
Okay. Since how long? He's 16.
a couple of years ago.
Okay. So it's been a few years since you've seen him.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who do you have with you here today?
This is my future husband, Dave,
Okay.
and he is wonderful with our son, my son, and he can't wait to be my son's real father.
Dave just seemed to pop in here from somewhere. I don't really know much about him. I don't know what kind of dad he's going to be. Vicki has a bad attitude. She just wasn't a good mother. I don't think she takes care of my son like she should.
Okay. How long have you all been in a relationship, or you've been around the child?
Oh, it's been at least 2 years.
Okay.
My son loves him. Dave is the only real father my son has known in at least 2 years.
Well, the only way that you two would even come close to some sort of resolution is to not, throw jabs at each other.
Okay.
We can't control or change anything that occurred in the past. We can only move forward.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
So moving forward, you're asking for a reduction in child support. Now, right now, you all have a court order in place. That court order, does it speak to how often he's supposed to visit with the child?
Every 2 weeks, he has our son every 2 weeks. If he wants him, he just doesn't take him.
Okay. And it's been 2 years since you've really seen him.
Yes, ma'am.
And he has a potential father here
I
that
see that.
seems like the child loves.
I agree with that.
Okay.
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 That'll work.
So if you guys cannot agree to a reduction in child support and everything like that, you all will have to take your chances in court.
Well, I think it would be best for the child, and probably you too, that if you just, signed away all your parental rights to our son, and Dave can step in and be, the real father that you choose not to be.
Hey, that makes me happy, but I got one stipulation here.
What is
You want me
that?
out of the picture, I'll give up all my rights. You gotta cancel that back $30,000 back pay I owe you.
Well, $30,000 buys our son a college graduation, college.
Well, that's the
tuition.
agreement. You can take it or leave it. It's up to you.
Well, let's explore that. Let's explore that. You're offering termination,
Right.
right? And you're not opposed to it. Is that
No,
what I'm
not
getting from
opposed to
you?
it at all.
Okay.
It'll make me
And
happy.
you just want the back pay
I want
forgiven.
that back pay gone and you've got everything.
And you do realize if he terminates his rights, the child support obligation ends, right?
Absolutely.
Now about the arrearages, it's about $30,000 for custody of your son. And when are the two of you plan on getting married?
Within the month.
Okay. So, are you willing to adopt the child?
Yes.
Okay, because courts, they do like to see that a child is going to be adopted if they're going to entertain any type of termination. And just know, even if you all were to agree to a termination and an adoption
Yes, ma'am.
today, that doesn't necessarily mean that the court would grant it. They still have to find that that's in their best interest and go through the entire adoption process and everything like that. Okay?
Yes.
So, what about the arrears? Would you entertain that if he, signed over all his rights and your
If
husband
he
were
signs away
adopted?
all his rights and agrees to never come around my son again, try to contact him in the future ever, then I will agree to that.
You agree to all of it?
Yes, I will, as long as
Okay.
you agree to stay away from our son.
Okay, Vicki. Hey, you know what? I told you were gonna make my day when I was here a minute ago talking to you, and you just did.
You made my day too.
Awesome.
So everybody's on the same page.
I'm on the same
Okay.
page.
So what I'm going to do is step out and go get the agreement that you all will sign. It's known as the mediated settlement agreement.
Okay.
Now, when you sign it, it's irrevocable. It's what you all will agree to. For you will have more documentation that you will have to sign later, like you relinquishing your rights and everything like that. And then you all will go through the termination and adoption process. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Give me
I'm ready.
one moment.
I'm good. I don't want to see you anymore. Didn't used to be that way till you changed so much.
I grew up,
You did?
yeah. I grew up.
I think that's because you probably stopped drinking.
No, that wasn't it.
It wasn't.
No, I just saw you for the bad person you are.
I'm a bad person. What
Yes,
did I
you
do
are.
bad? Name one.
You
One thing-
neglected our
one thing
son.
I did bad.
You neglected our son.
Not totally. Okay, so that's a bad thing. What else? I'm not the bad person. 'cause
You're a
I
bad
neglect your
husband.
son.
Bad husband,
Okay.
bad father.
Okay, so this is the mediated settlement agreement. Just review it and make sure it outlines everything you all have agreed to today in terms of you terminating your full rights to the child, and you all will go through an adoption process. No child support. Your child support will be abated as of today, and you're agreeing to waive all of the
Yes.
arrears.
All of them.
Okay,
Okay, and everything looks good. You'll sign where it says petitioner. Okay, and if everything looks good to you, you will sign as respondent. Okay, We'll get you copies and you all will be free to leave.
Great, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Is it good?
Yes, it will be. Very good for us. Now we can go on with our life. 3 of us will be a family now.
Yeah, you probably have about 2 more years with him. He's gonna be on the road, you know that, don't you?
No, he's not.
He's gonna go to college. You're gonna be out of his life.
No, you're going to be out of his life.
I am out, but I'm saying that's what.
He's never
boys
gonna be
get to
out of my
about-
life.
Get to be about that age.
Believe me,
you know,
he's his mother's
they're gone.
son.
He'll come back for
Yeah.
holidays.
Yep, he will be there for me and Dave.